Today we have this 1940 Smith Corona standard vintage desktop typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. The margins are located behind this flip panel right here, and you just push them down and move them with your finger like that. I like to push them at the beginning and the end of the page like that, and it's supposed to have an automatic adjuster too. If you push it up, it'll send the left one to wherever you are on the platen. Push it down, it'll send the right side to wherever you are in the platen. But the string broke. There's a string that connects it that pulls it, and so I'm not using that function. This is your paper guide that's adjustable, and I like to line it up with the edge of the platen. The platen is your main roller that the paper feeds into. This is your paper bale that sits on top. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit this line space, get you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip this switch down. 1, skips 2, 1 more, skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single for now, and I was able to type all the letters on the keyboard in one line because this has Elite typeface, which prints 12 characters per inch, which is a bit smaller than the standard Pica, which prints 10. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Very nice typing machine. I missed the M in jumps, but that's okay. You gotta practice when you're on these manual typewriters. You can't just, well, you can backspace on it. So I'll show you how to use the backspace and we can fix that actually. Let's go back to that line, and let's say we were on the P. So I'll do a close-up. We're on the P, and then you just hit the backspace. It'll bring you to where you can type the M, and we just fixed it just like that. To pull the paper out easy, you just flip this switch down and it unlocks the rollers, allowing you to pull the page out easy. Or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock or multiple pages. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. This is where the backspace is on the top left here. Works good. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, you just hit the shift button again. Got a tab function up top here. Shouldn't be any tab set, so it goes slamming all the way to the end. That's why I like to set one in the middle. So with the set one, you just hit that green button on the right side there, and it'll set one right there in the middle. To clear it, you just hit this clear button on the left side, and it'll go all the way to the end. And as you can see, if you don't have any tabs set and you hit that tab button, it'll slam pretty hard to the end. So I like to keep one set right there in the middle. And if you need to clear all your tabs, there's a clear all tab function right here, and it clears them all. So let's see. Cleared that tab we have, we're going to reset it there. Margin release. We get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that will lock the keys so it can't type past it. And if you want to get past that lock, you just hit that margin release, and it will allow you to type past that margin. So that works good. Up top here we have, this is where your ribbon direction is. Right now we're pulling to the right because all the brand new ribbon is loaded on the left. So if you flip that to the left, it'll start pulling to this side. And as you can see, it starts pulling clockwise to the left, but we're going to keep it to the right so that way we use up all the brand new ribbon. And this also does have a automatic reverse ribbon feature, so when you get to the end of one side, it'll start pulling back towards the other side. This is your color selector. If you push it all the way to the right where that red square is, it'll hit the bottom portion of the ribbon, and that's usually if you have a black and red ribbon. The red is on the bottom and it hits the bottom portion of it because that vibrator goes up a little higher. You push it on the blue, it'll hit just the top portion of the ribbon, and that's where we want it when we have a solid black. And you can actually use both upper and lower portions of a solid black ribbon and use it twice basically. Right up here we have our touch control, and the higher you go to the left, the higher the tension on the keys. You just got to hit them harder, but they respond faster. So for more advanced typers, they like to go higher on that. Carriage release lever on the right side here works good, and this knob is partially broken, but it still works, as you can see. Carriage release on the left side works good, and this lever here will disable your spacing, so you can get to an exact point on the page without having to deal with the spacing, which each one of those clicks is one space. So if you flip that back, you don't have to deal with perfect spaces. You can also get that function by pushing in this little, that actually still clicks. So that's what that's supposed to do. And that's about it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.